videos and like get this and like there's schools in session, sort of there while school in session, and we're like in the bar, and there's students around us, you know, like and then we're all starting like hammering out our pitches, different stuff like that, eating French fries and drinking beers till 2 a.m. Go to sleep, wake up the next morning at 6 a.m. in class, and like it was just it was such a cool experience. But it makes me a little bit like this, like kind of skill.
Hello, my name is Justin. Sorry about that. My name is
Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Is there another?
He will be here in a little bit, so if you want to leave it behind, I will make sure he gets it.
Okay.
So, hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Jeff. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
You're gonna stay at this side of the
So here's our investor packet online, just in case you don't have a hard copy for the audience.
So there is a current issue in California that is causing vineyard owners all over to suffer from a severe money loss. However, this issue is the heat issue that is causing radical heat waves to surge all around California, which causes the air to go bitter and dry. This causes a nearly 12.5% decrease in wine grape productivity. However, we come to you today with our product called Otharca to solve this current issue today.
Hello, my name is Joseph. I'm the CEO of Modern Vineyard International, but for short we go by MVI.
Hello everybody, I'm Seth Piero and I'm the CMO of MBI.
Hello everybody, I'm Omri, I'm the CTO of MBI.
I'm Eliza, I'm the secretary of MBI.
I am Calvin, I am the CFO of MVI.
Our mission and vision. Our mission is to help advance research on defensive technology for the vineyards to help them combat these radical heat waves. And our vision is to help future unknown vineyard owners that don't know about this problem to be able to face this problem with our product.
So the problem we're addressing is the impact of major and minor problems on grape growth and its taste. For example, increased heat and smoke from wildfires. Last year, the state's wine grape production was expected to drop 12% to 3.5 million tons due to these issues. This is a significant impact for vineyard owners that results in financial loss and drop in quality.
So here's a quick overview of our product. So the product name is called the Dart. It's a thermal regulator tarp to go over the wine grape. It helps protect against the elements and also critters, which is another huge issue. It could also help make the grapes organic by eliminating the need of pesticides. So here's the blueprint of our product. So over the top will be a 90% shade. On the sides will be an actual tarp, and on the bottom will be a rubber sealant to seal in the grape. It will have an AC unit to help power, to regulate the air through it. There will be bamboo pipes inside to transfer the air to wherever it's needed. AC unit, it'll have solar panels to power it. And also have a heater system, so you're able to set the temperature at whatever time. So let's say at 5 o'clock you want this temperature, and a different temperature at 5:12. You're able to do that.
So for our sustainability solution, we'll be applying bamboo to any unreasonable plastics in our product. They last 5 to 10 years, and it's biodegradable, which means it won't cause any contamination to water, air, or land.
And here we have it that we have our unique value proposition. What makes us unique is that we care about preserving vineyard heritage, and we care about the traditions it has built over the years with their vineyard. And we also care about the wellness of it, how well it's doing, even when it's in the tough times and that's not doing super well. And we offer sustainable solutions, unlike our competitors here.
So we are primarily targeting vineyard owners here in California, which is fortunately the vineyard capital of the USA. And this is Guillermo right here. We're using as a face to represent the thousands of potential vineyard owners that we could, help with our product. And for our customer relationships, we'll have a newsletter in which we can inform them and update on any advancements in our company and defense tech for vineyards, as well as additional products or additional features that they could buy and add to the dark, experimenting with that idea, as well as salvaging discounts. So let's say, the vineyard owner's old dark wears out or if they return it to us, we'll use the parts that are salvageable to, make a new dart at a discounted price. So we're going to be distributing our product across then. It'll be a semi-trucks right here, as well as distributing internationally our products through cargo ships, and they even have online semi-trucks on multiple different continents and countries, to transport the product to your destination location on that turf as well.
And now to move on to our financials. So first we have our TAM, which is our total addressable market, which is 10.7 billion. And what that is if we were to sell to every acre in California. And now to move on to our SAM, which is our serviceable attainable market, which is 975 million. That is what we would make if we were to sell to every acre within California. And onto our SOM, which is our serviceable obtainable market, which is our percentage of our customers in California. So, but right now we are targeting the Central Valley within our SOM, which comes out to 40.5 million. So on to our 3-year projections. So this would be the statistics or how much money we would make if we were to go on full produce. So if we were to fully produce our product within the first 3 years, that's how much we make. But however, we know that in our first 2 years that our sales will be rather rough. So these are just a rough estimate. On to our startup costs. So our total startup cost is 5.4 million. So most of that is going to be our administrative cost, which is going to be property or freight trucks that we would need in order to store our product. And most of our other percentages, our plant, property, and equipment, is how much we would need in order to build our product. Onto our COGS. So this is cost of goods sold. So this would be a list of the amount of things that we would need in order to build our product and the price. So all of that comes down to a total of $4,000, or it can round up to $5,000, depending on what products we use. So with this, we plan to sell our product at $15,000 per acre. And some of the other things that we offer with our product is free installation, so the customers don't have to do it themselves. And we also offer a free guide, so our customer doesn't go in blind on using our product, so they can know how to use our product.
So our key metric. So we'd like to gain at least 20 customers per month. We also like to have at least a new start and a new vineyard every other day. We'll also have a good inventory turnover ratio. That's also very important to us. So our competition. So right now at UC Davis, they're currently testing out a overhead photo selective film shade to go over the wine grapes to help protect them from the sun. This is just something worth mentioning because it is something that's currently being tested out at a major college, especially a wine college. And then greenhouses. Greenhouses aren't really too effective in the wine industry, specifically the grapes, because it keeps the same temperature over a greater time. And also warms up the grapes, which is the issue we're trying to solve.
So some pivots we had was marketing to every vineyard to marketing to only premium vineyards.
Attention all vineyard owners and managers. Are you guys facing the intense heat waves here in California? Well, we have a solution with that called the TARP.
This is the TARP. The TARP is a thermal regulator tarp to go over the wine grapes to help protect them from the intense heat waves here in California. Some benefits that it also has is help keep out birds, insects, and animals. It can also make your yield organic by eliminating the need of pesticides.
So if you guys like the free quote today, click this link below. Thank you.
So that there was our ad for currently running an ad campaign, so we may get a better understanding and better statistics of our target audience, and better understand how to market to them.
And as you guys can see here, these are our industry partners. We got Guillermo Garcia, Samuel Fairbanks, we got Jose Cobos, and Ryan Jacobson. And these are honorable mentions to people who helped us with our business and keep on track of us moving forward. Guillermo Garcia, he is somebody at the UC Davis School. He helps manage the vineyards, and he helps students, and he volunteers his time to go other places and other countries that have also faced some problems like this. And this is Samuel Fairbanks and Jose Cobos. We have met with them personally in a meeting, and they told us how we can develop our product and move it forward to keep it going to the next level. So we really thank those two for that. And this is Ryan Jacobson. Ryan Jacobson is really important because Joseph Grandpa, who knows him, had got us connected with him, and he got us connected to industry with an industry like Allied Grape Growers, who has helped us move along farther than we expected.
So our exit strategy. So when we like to sell off or decide to either sell off or continue our business and create a new line of products, we would like to have at least $50 million in sales. We'd like to have at least one factory that will be producing our product full time. We'd like to have at least one international sale to make our name come true, which is Vaughn Vineyard International. And we'd like to be in business for at least 6 years before we make any decisions on breaking off or staying together. So these are our socials. This is how you guys can find us. This is my personal phone number. This is our email in case you guys would like to get in contact with us. This is a QR code that goes to our website. It is still currently under works. So please join us on this journey to help cultivate the wine industry one vineyard at a time with Vaughn Vineyard International. Thank you.
About the air conditioning aspect of it, because I'm looking at the page that has the 15,000 per acre, which we talked about another time. Tell me about that AC unit. Like, how much of a row does it affect? How much can it touch?
We currently do not know yet how big the AC unit has to be until we actually get some funding so we can build a full-scale prototype so we can get a better understanding. So we can also have statistics to back up our claims here.
Okay. All right, that's it. I'll formulate some other questions.
All right. Do you mind actually going back to your custom distribution, where you mentioned how you're getting the products to the vineyards?
Yes.
I do need some clarification. I noticed that for customer distribution, you put semi-trucks and cargoes. So are you not going to sell your product on any stores and to any distributors? Because from the looks of it, you put that one of your highest costs, administrative costs, assuming that you're going to distribute through your own semi-trucks, you're going to own your own trucks, you're going to pay the payroll for that manufacturer. So I'm curious, why eliminate having a distributor who would do it for you at a fraction of cost, and you're essentially getting into manufacturing and a distributing business. So why make that choice instead of just having a distributor sending products to the vendors?
Well, I feel like that personally, that this would kind of be our way. We would be able to distribute. And plus, if we do create a new line of products in our 6-year mark, we do decide to keep our business and create a new product line, this would give us opportunity to distribute on our own, where we don't have to outsource people to do that for us. We can do it on our own.
And are you doing it for margin profit reasons, or is there a specific reason why you felt like this was the best choice?
Me personally, I kind of like cutting the middleman. I like to get straight to the person. So that kind of eliminates that. We distribute ourselves.
All right. And if anyone wants to jump into this, have any individual team member or a mentor of some kind has experience when it comes to distribution? I will let the time of anyone else want to ask questions.
Wonderful presentation, great visuals, and all the rest of that. So with the product, the science side is a little bit, but again, so how much have you talked to people within the wine industry in terms of developing the product? I think your team has some really, really good ideas in terms of the business side, maybe not so much on the product side. But if you guys can actually pivot and talk with some of the great growers and actually find out what some of their problems and some of their touch points are, I think you guys could actually develop some real value for them. So I'm just kind of wondering, how much interaction are you actually having with, like, that crop from UC Davis or the actual grape growers?
So to answer that, my cousin, she has a vineyard in Thousand Oaks. Beautiful. I recently visited her house back in August. I went up there for my grandma's birthday. She brand new house, had a 2-acre vineyard on a hillside. And she was kind of telling me about the issues arising there. So the next week, we were having a design thinking challenge in our science class. And that's what kind of brought forward this idea. And I was like, no, this actually wouldn't be a bad business idea. So we kind of transformed it into what it is right now.
Okay, awesome. Just an FYI, you can actually do the heat calculations to find out like how much heat is coming in. And if you grab like ChatGPT and say, hey, help me with the heat calculations, you can find out what the cost, like what the size of the AC is and what the cost will be. But again, I think what's really important is the fact that, great team, great presentation. If you guys can actually find out what some other issues are, I think we can really turn it into a cool business.
Thank you.
Sorry, I apologize for being tardy and walking in during your presentation. I do have a few questions since we're already on customer distribution. So you want to be your own distributor, right?
Yes.
I know a lot of business owners who are in the trucking industry, and it's pretty competitive price-wise. So I would maybe rethink or talk to someone who actually owns a trucking business before you take on distribution. That's just my opinion when you're starting out. It's just very costly. And you can cut those costs and use that money for something else. I personally. Also, your evaluation for what you need is $6 million. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that changed from your last presentation, correct?
Yes.
What was your last evaluation for your class?
I believe it was north of $480 million.
Right. So what big change?
So we figured out, as we see in our pivot slide here, so we kind of changed our market here. Instead of marketing to all the vineyards everywhere, we're doing specifically the premium wine grapes that are selling for $250,000 per acre kind of wine grapes that actually care about the grapes. That's kind of why our numbers changed dramatically.
Okay. I'll come back. I have any other questions on the pages.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why only 5% to the investors? Wouldn't it make more sense to sort of sweeten the pie and get somebody on board who's passionate and sit and say, if I'll give you 20%, come on board, let's run with this because, that $81 million is pretty steep.
Well, this gives us room to negotiate. So we'd like the have the lower number on our end, and they may have a higher number, and we could negotiate that. That's why it's 5%.
Okay. I would question that because I think reasonableness. And if you come in with a reasonable assumption, I'm going to treat you reasonably. If you come in with an absurd number, I'm going to treat you absurdly.
Okay. Thank you.
Could you guys go to your 1 year, 2 year sales plan?
Yes.
So you had for your second year that you want to do $44.5 million in sales, but on your 1, 2, 3 year plan, you want to sell 32,000 acres, which at $15,000 an acre, you're at $480 million in sales.
My apologies for that.
Yeah.
I guess we have not updated
Okay.
exactly because I was working on that like midnight last night. trying to make sure everything is like.
No worries. I just saw that and I was like, wait, that the acres doesn't match the actual sales. So, and I've worked on many projects at midnight too, so you're all good.
My apologies for that.
No, but I want to go back to the COGS page. That was my big question is for an acre, which is kind of hard in wine from my experience. My father-in-law is a winemaker, so I spent a lot of time on wineries and on fields. I think an acre for wine is going to be hard to quantify. But I also think, in my experience in dealing with AC units and refrigeration that I do in my business, $3,400 for an acre with refrigeration or any type of cooling is a way understatement. $3,400 wouldn't even refrigerate or keep cool a 1,400 square foot space in one of my restaurants. So I would really look at that because you're looking at, I'm just thinking on the AC unit itself. My AC units, I have a 1,500 square foot restaurant space. My AC unit was $35,000 for that space. Now, granted, I'm keeping it at 72 degrees in that shop, and it's a little bit different, but when you're talking about elements and you're talking about an acre, you're talking about a long space, an AC unit, I don't know the math, I don't know the thermal, all of that stuff to it, but I do know that like a $2,300 AC unit is not going to probably cover that type of space unless you have some magical unit to do that. So I would just reassess some of those numbers and look at that. To his point of like using ChatGPT and kind of figuring out those numbers, there is an equation out there. I've seen it. We've used it when we built new locations on like how much heat transfer you need and what size AC unit you would actually need for that. It's obviously a little unique being out in the elements and like under a tarp. But I would definitely like that number. Like when I saw $3,400 in your cost, I was like, there's no way. And so I would definitely kind of reassess that. And I think that's a key point to you because what that selling point is and how much money you can make off that is going to be a big part if this is successful or not too. The other thing I'll say is a good friend of mine works for a company here in town that does fruit labeling. They're very similar to you guys, all in-house. They ship themselves. They do all of that. Do you guys have a plan of what that company structure looks like? Do you have engineers on staff? What is your maintenance crew? You have a very unique product. I mean, if you're shipping around the U.S., obviously you're starting here in California, specifically Fresno local, so that's easy. But my friend travels twice a week to different cities as an engineer to fix their machinery. And it's all case by case because for you guys, every winery, every vineyard is going to be slightly different and making those adjustments on site. I'm just curious if you guys have a plan for what that looks like. Once you implement and you deliver, what's your upkeep and what's the cost for your upkeep moving forward?
So to kind of answer your first part of the question about like us traveling everywhere, we would actually be the maintenance people.
Okay.
I do have an engineer that's kind of been helping with the design aspect of it, seeing just really the design. He actually drew this blueprint, and then my secretary here, Ulysses, he actually drew it online. So it used to just be a piece of paper. And he's been in the laser industry for 40 years. Okay. So he's recently retired. So he kind of designed the majority of it. We changed it up a little bit depending on what we're actually looking for. So yeah, he's been helping us out along the road with the engineering aspect of it. And then once we actually build this, we'll be self-knowledge ourselves, where we're able to go fix a issue that's happening. So let's say that something went out, we would know how to fix it because we built it. And then eventually, over time, we'll gain more people, have more people know how to work it, and then create a employee base that way.
And I should have started with this. I think this is a really good idea and very well put together. I'm not surprised if you said that an engineer helped you guys draw that. Not thinking that you guys can't do that, but I saw that and I was like, dang, okay, they put some real thought into this. So yeah, excellent job. I think it's something that is definitely viable. Knowing the industry personally, it is something that it definitely has a market. So I think really well, Jeff, well done. I think just looking at some of the numbers and kind of getting the reality of what that looks like, and if it's actually affordable to a winemaker, because that's, you got to look at that 12% loss and how much you're spending to keep that 12%. Does that balance? So
right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
I think we're tweaking on this as if it's in motion, and your presentation is as if it's in motion, and where you are in the stage of your junior year with pitching is as it's in motion. But my opinion is you need to take a full step back. You need to come all the way back to the research phase, the research stage, and develop a test block. And my recommendation is that you don't try to pitch for dollars to start this thing. I mean, you got guys here that know numbers, know how to run businesses, talking into your idea, but I think it's premature. I think it's a very good idea. You've identified a problem, but I don't think you've identified the problem, you haven't demonstrated your solution will work. And so I want to recommend, you mentioned UC Davis. I've done a lot of work in ag. UC Davis is the Bible. Everything they write for the ag industry is like the Bible. That's how much farmers will change what they're doing based on new. It's called outreach, extension outreach. So did you know that there's a place called Kearney Agricultural Research and Extension Center right here in Parley?
No, I did not.
I'd like to introduce you to them, and you could set up with them. And what you need, my opinion is, you need to raise funds to do a research block with them. And they do that. So investors can fund you to go ahead and fund them, and then they will work with you and mark all the data and put it all together and prove this. They will prove this theory, and you'll be able to tweak things and change it. Then you come back, and now you've got a write-up, because with that money that was invested in them to assist you on this extension and this test block, you get full access to the write-up, and the write-up goes live, and it's a UC Davis cooperative extension write-up. And so vineyard growers are going to get that, their publications are going to read it, and go, what the heck? Who did that? Look what it said, look what the metrics are, look what it did. Now you got interest before you've even come to market with the business. And then you just go to town on it. And then you really start working it from there. I've done some things in ag where we worked with them. It's very powerful. That's why I call it the Bible almost. It's very powerful. You try to get growers to do something new and different, and you talk to them. So say you go see them, you go, hey, this is why it's going to work, this is what it's going to do, da, da, da. They'll go, I just can't do it. I need more. I need to know. I don't want to take a risk that I would screw up on. What if it shriveled back the canopy because the heat deflection and then the cool and then the climate with hot and cool meets and then, oh, it ruined my crop. What about this? So it needs to be tested. They're very conservative decision makers. And in wine, unfortunately, most of them don't know that much about the wine grapes. They know about making the wine. And so they hire that out. So you get these certain individuals that are custom that do like 20 different wineries and they handle all their grapes. Anyway, my whole point is, like, I think for the sake of the class and for the sake of the curriculum and what you're doing, the pitch was good. It's tight. You guys are good, but let's in reality, let's take a step back and get some research done. I'll work with you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Just real quick, the five of you, please take heed and take the advice and take notes of what was just shared with you. It'll make sense once you start researching and making phone calls and meeting folks, and these recommendations will make sense. From the presentation point, if you all make it to the next level, it's very important that you all respond to questions. Okay, because at the beginning, it looks like a team project, and you all interact with the slides, and then at the end, you can see a little show. So you want to make sure that you all study, focus, take notes, and just say, okay, you focus on any financial questions that we need, any engineering questions that we need, so you all need to break it up and make sure we're there. So it's important that you just, as a team effort, always throughout the presentation. Okay? Other than that, no.
Thank you.
Do you have enough time for one more question? Or not one more?
We got it. Time is really gonna go. Thank you, guys. You guys can write any additional feedback on the scoring sheet. Thank you. Thank you.